Hello viewers, this is Jared from J-Rod Production Studios with a review of set number 7163, the Republic Gunship back from 2002. I had promised to do this review for quite a while, so I finally got around to doing it to complement the ATTE review I did. So let's go ahead and start off by taking a look at the minifigures. Perhaps the most notable figure of this set is the Clone Trooper that was first released with this set, actually. First LEGO Clone Trooper ever made. This came out right after, or right before rather, that episode 2 was released. And you get 4 of them with this set, and to the best of my knowledge, this is the only set that gives you 4 of the same Clone Trooper, except for the ATTE, which is actually the same clone. So definitely a great minifigure to have. He also even has the only clone with neck armor and pretty standard same body on the original Phase 2, just the helmet's a little bit different, but that is one of the coolest parts in my opinion. The next figure is an unnamed figure, so for that reason, LEGO has decided to call him the Jedi Bob. And Jedi Bob has just pretty simple robes on him, clearly, and he has the chrome-hilted lightsaber that all the Jedi had up until about 2007. And yeah, he's got almost the city-style face. He has just the plain cape and hood. There also is no back printing underneath the cape either. The next figure, you do get 2 of them with the set, however I only have one, is the chrome, or not chrome, the metallic blue Super Battle Droid that first came out with this set and I don't think was ever released again. I think this is the only metallic blue Battle Droid that was ever released. So as you can imagine, it is a pretty expensive figure and they're pretty fragile. Most of the time LEGO figures are built pretty well, but this one, for some reason, a lot of the arms break, the leg pieces. Really the only thing that holds intact is the torso, so after the 18 plus years that this thing has been around, that's why so few are left, is they just break apart very easily. And of course the brick-built figure with this set is the Droideka, and really cool figure I think. I actually like this more than the newer brick-built brick-built Droidekas, excuse me, just because it looks cleaner than like the 2014 Battle Droid. I think the 2007 one was better, obviously, but it uses like blaster pistols, and an interesting technique, it actually uses binoculars on the blaster pistol, and as you can see, this uses Battle Droid arms to hold all the pieces together, Battle Droid body on top. Pretty interesting figure. I actually have quite a few of those from the other gunship I bought. Someone actually sent me 3 of these with that set, so definitely like that figure. Next here we obviously have the box itself, and whoever purchased this thing back when it was on sale was very lucky because they only paid $40 for this. And yeah, that's definitely a really good price on this set because this new will run you between $400 and $500 these days. I believe I bought this with the box for under $100, so I got a really good price on that. I had bought one before without the box, but I just think the box itself is one of the coolest parts to me, and as you can see, it does have the instructions in there as well. But yeah, just the interesting box art of the era is, of course, one of my favorite parts of getting an older, classic, original set, and kind of showcases all the different types of builds you can do with it. And moving on to the set itself, you'll have to excuse any sort of miscoloration of parts you see, or, for example, with these old sets, a really big issue is the stickers always like to peel like that. I'm actually probably going to get some of the replacement sticker sheets you can find on eBay. Just again, 18-year-old set, it's bound to not be in perfect condition when it's used, but all the parts, to my knowledge, are here actually, and in fact, this part is in the wrong spot. There we go. Sorry, excuse me, these parts were on the wrong spot there, but we're just going to start at the front, taking a look at it from the front, should I say, and it doesn't look too bad. I mean, for being an 18-year-old set, the design doesn't look all that bad, and I think a lot of it is because there's very few studs exposed, with the exception of the wings here, and of course, like, the doors themselves, but the design holds up. It's not the best gunship, I will admit. Obviously the newer models are much better than this, but the classic look mixed with sort of the modernized I don't want to call it snot technique, studs not on top, because it's not really using that, but just the fact that so few studs are exposed all the way up makes this thing look very clean. And of course from the front here, you have the perfect amount of space in this set to neatly place in all of your clone trooper figures. You have 2 spots for the pilots in here, and obviously 2 spots for the gunners. And this is where we get to some of the more interesting playable features of this set. For example, this whole cockpit area actually moves up so that the front bits can open up. Obviously this is not an in-universe actual feature of the LAAT itself, but what that reveals right here is this sort of medical pod. And if you open it up, you have this whole tray of repair tools and stuff, and this whole little area in front. So very interesting that they came up with this idea all the way back in 2002 to include something. You can see that there's sort of computers on the inside and such, but yeah, done very well in my opinion in terms of how they plan this all out and trying to... It's also worth mentioning that all the guns on this are very flimsy. They break off very, very easily. I've actually lost quite a few of them, especially the one on the back here. I lose these all the time. This is actually pulled off my other gunship just so I have enough for the review, because the ones on the back, whenever I'm setting the models back, always just very easily fall off and such. Now on the side of the model, as you can see, first of all, there's a lot of different stickers here, but what's interesting about this actually is the perfect amount of space for the bubble turret to fully close on itself. And right here, the door, excuse me, I have to get an angle where the wing won't affect that, but the door slides open enough to reveal a large area of the cockpit. It just doesn't fully close on itself, which is kind of like the newer 2013 one. The only addition to this set that is actually realistic to the in-universe set is the outside bubble turret right here. As you can tell, there's no space for minifigures, which the newer models do have that. That's not a real feature of this ship in the Star Wars universe, which ironically this set gets it right, even though I don't think they intended to. They just didn't have the ability back then to add a nice little seat in the wing without making it look awkward. But under that wing, with this door open, as you can see here, there's the perfect amount of space for all of your extra blasters to fit in here. Sorry, it's kind of dark, but the blasters fit on those little racks. And you actually have that from both sides there, so you can fit all 4 blasters for all 4 of the clones who are stationed in the ship itself. And the inside is very roomy. You have quite a bit of space. As you can see, almost down in there, there's also some space below the edge pieces right here, and plenty enough room to stand up some extra clones or Jedi Bob himself. And definitely one of the more figure scale models of the Republic gunship. It's the smallest of the 3 that were made. However, I think it's one of the most to scale because there's not too much room in here. It's not too tall, but it does perfectly fit the right amount of figures in the right spots. There also is no feature in the hutch there, which you would see on the newer models. The only real addition to the inside of here is there's a computer screen in the back there and the rack for the blasters, and they actually did a decent job of getting the bar that comes across there that you'd see clone troopers holding on to, even though you can't actually do that with this one. And looking at the top of the set from the back, as you can see, these engine pieces, the gun pieces, should I say, actually rotate. And this right here, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to have any sort of area in there, but you do have access to sort of an interior of the top of the gunship through this, actually a printed piece right there, which is very nice. And on the top itself, you can see this flips up to reveal an actual engine compartment, which is very nice. You see the tubes and whatever the trans blue piece is there. The guns themselves are fairly simple. They just move all the way back. Again, not perfect, but it's what they had for the time. And this little piece, I don't know if you can see it, it always falls off, but it's supposed to come up. I'm not really sure. I don't think this is intended to be a carry handle because it doesn't work very well. As you can see, it just pops right out of place. Yeah, not really sure what that feature is meant to be. Also on the front of the cockpit, there's not much in there, just a computer screen and not really a chair, just sort of sits on the ground, but fits in there definitely nice and snug for the pilots. I think that's all that there really is to this set. Again, definitely one of my more favorite LEGO sets. That's why I bought 2 of them. I got a really good price on them both back in the day. I bought them like 3 or 4 years ago, but I think it's one of the better sets for its time. I know it's not perfect in design or detail, but I think it looks all right, and I think it holds up to today's standards decently well. Again, it's not as good as the newer Gunships, but yeah, definitely one of my favorite sets. I would definitely rate this a must-buy if you are trying to collect the older sets. I almost have all of the original Episode 2 sets from 2002, 2003, so thank you all for viewing. If you'd like to see more reviews, go ahead and let me know. I know I'm planning on doing a couple more classic sets while I still can, because there's just a real lack of those reviews on YouTube. So thanks for viewing. Be sure to comment what your favorite gunship is down in the comment section below, and as always, have a nice day.